This training material is the property of Accessible Tech Planet. Use of this material is restricted and permission must be sought before use. Do not sell or reproduce in any format without the permission of Accessible Tech Planet.
Lesson 17.
Today we are talking about text formatting. By text formatting, I mean how you can organize your text while you type or after you must have typed, to make it look sweet, to make it look attractive, to make it look durable, to make it look presentable, to anybody that is looking at it visually. By text formatting, it involves how you can increase or decrease the font of whatever you typed, how you can move certain text into certain parts of the document, and many more. But just before I go really deep into text formatting, I want to take you back a bit to what we have learned from our previous lessons, because you will need this particular thing I'm about to talk about. Can you remember the lesson I taught you how you can select items on your Microsoft Word page? Can you tell me what lesson number that was? If you can, it's good, that's better. But if you cannot, I will advise that you refer back to that lesson so that you would be able to acclimatize yourself with it as a good student. But never bother, I'm going to refresh your memory by talking about those things once more in this lesson before we move on. So, I'm going to quickly talk about how you can select texts on your Microsoft Word page, because like I said, we're going to be needing it in this lesson. So, to select character by character, I told you how you are going to do that. But let us open a document here and practice the various categories of selections on the Microsoft Word page.
No, 7 Adobe Lane.
So I have a document open here, and we're going to be practicing how to select. Now let's say I want to select character by character. First I'll read
O period space.
That's NO period, then a space. So if I want to select the N, I'll make sure my cursor is on N. Right now my cursor is on N because I've scrolled to that first letter using my left arrow. So I'm going to press the Shift key and press the right arrow, and let's see what is going to happen.
N selected.
If you listen, you just heard N selected. For the purpose of this training, I'm going to reduce the speed rate, or the rate I meant to say, of my JAWS. Let me quickly do that.
Slower. No, 7 Adobe Lane. Slower. No, 7 Adobe Lane.
So I want to believe that that rate is good for you as a student. So let's quickly practice what we have done again. I want to select N, so I'll press Shift plus right arrow, and you are going to hear N selected.
N selected.
That's how to select character by character. You can unselect by doing the reverse. That's Shift plus the left arrow.
N unselected.
So you said that N unselected. So if you want to select word by word, you're going to just add Control to the Shift key. Shift is the modifier key here. So you are going to add Control plus Shift key, and that will select your word. Now let's say I want to select no.
Period. No.
So I'm on no right now. The way I got that is just press my Control key and read word by word. We've already done how to go about that, so I'm not going to be emphasizing that, in this lesson that much. So I'm on no. So let's say I want to select this. It's a word. I'm going to hold down my Shift, then press the Control and hit the right arrow. And please, when I say hit, I didn't mean that you should perform that hit like hit the key. No, I just meant press. So let's do that real quick. I'm gonna press Control Shift then right arrow.
No selected.
No selected. So that item has been selected. To unselect, the reverse is what I'm going to do here. Control Shift then my left arrow. Let's go.
No unselected.
So no has been unselected. Now what if I want to select more than a word? I want to select a line. Yeah, I want to select just one line. So I'm going to read the first line.
No 7 Adobe Lane.
I just pressed my up arrow to read the first line. So I'm going to make sure that my cursor is on the first alphabet of the first line. The method to quickly do that is just press your home key, and by the time you do that, just is going to pronounce the first letter on the line.
Home.
So I just pressed my home key right now, and what I'm going to do is to press Shift then down arrow to select this first line.
Selected. No period. 7 Adobe Lane, comma.
So number 7 Adobe Lane has been selected. That is just one line. To unselect, I'm going to reverse the method by pressing Shift plus up arrow.
Unselected. No period. 7 Adobe Lane, comma.
Unselected. So that line has been selected. Now what if I want to also select more than a line? Maybe I want to select a whole paragraph. I'm going to just add Control to my Shift and then press the down arrow. But before I do that, I need to read the first line and make sure that's where I am.
No 7 Adobe Lane.
Okay, that's good. So I'm going to press my home key to be sure that I'm on the first character of the first line.
Home.
So right now I have done that. I'm going to press Control plus Shift, then press the down arrow.
No period. 7 Adobe Lane, comma, selected.
So with this, it has selected a whole paragraph. Yeah, you are hearing the same thing I have selected when I selected a line, because there is no paragraph in here. If I open a page or if I open a document that has a paragraph, okay, let's read on.
Special appeal line, special appeal for kindness.
So let's start from this special appeal. I'm going to press the home key.
O S.
So
Sierra.
I'm on the first alphabet of that line. So I'm going to select one paragraph by pressing Ctrl Shift plus down arrow.
Special appeal for kind consideration for study leave with pay selected.
That's one paragraph. That's one whole paragraph. So if I read on also,
enhanced improve hardly be enough for me to acquire the
so let's go to the
page. Hotel.
Beginning of that line and let's select one paragraph. Let's see here.
Hardly be enough for me to acquire the necessary academic qualification required for the enhanced improvement at my job period. Selected.
So that's a whole paragraph that has been selected. Alright. To differentiate, I'm going to select one line.
Cadre at grade hardly be enough for me to acquire the home.
Let me select a line. That's Shift plus down arrow.
Selected. Hardly be enough for me to acquire the necessary academic qualification required for the...
You can see what has been selected now is reduced. It's not more than what was selected when I tried to select a whole paragraph. So now you know the difference. So having learned all of these things, let's now learn text formatting. Like I said, text formatting has to do with the way your text look, after you must have typed, and you just want to beautify what you have typed to make sure that everything is in good face so that it will look good to those that are looking at it on the screen, and whatever you have typed will be able to stand out anywhere it is being taken to. So let's start with text formatting. The first thing we're going to learn is how to do alignment. That's aligning something to the right or left. Alright, so let's say there's a particular line here that I want to move to the right. Let's go to
of my above request for a study leave with pay, having already reached the bar for my...
So let's say I want to select one line here and take it to the right side. Okay, so I'm going to select that line with Shift plus down arrow. You can see why I said we're going to be needing the way to select.
Selected, of my above request for a study leave with pay period, having already reached the bar for my...
So I have selected that line. If I want to shift it to the right side, all I need to do is to press Ctrl plus R, and you are going to hear right aligned or aligned right. Ctrl plus letter R.
Aligned right.
Aligned right. If you listen well, you've just heard that spoken by Joss. So that particular line has been moved to the right side of the document. Now let's say there's another line I want to move to the left.
Hardly be an enhanced improvement at my job.
Enhanced improvement at my job. I want to move this one to the left. Let's select it.
Home.
Shift and arrow.
Selected. Enhanced improvement at my job period.
Remember, to move a line to the right is Ctrl R. To do the same thing, that is moving a line to the left, is Ctrl plus L.
Aligned left.
You can hear that? Aligned left. So that particular line I have selected has been moved to the left line. You can see the styles I'm creating. You might not be able to see because you are visually impaired, but people that are sighted, they can actually see the screen, will be seeing the beauty of what you are doing. So we are done with how we can move our selected text or any portion of our document into the right or the left side in the document. Now, if I also want to underline, I can underline a particular word.
Cadre at grade level
Let me
07. My Cadre.
underline Cadre here, just Cadre alone. Don't forget, if I like, I can select a line, I can select a paragraph and get it underlined. So I'm going to underline
Space E. My Cadre.
Cadre here. Let's select it first.
Cadre selected.
So I'm going to press Ctrl plus U, and that's going to underline Cadre.
Underline on.
You can hear that, underline on. If I want to remove that underlining, I'll press Ctrl U again, and it's going to say underline off.
Underline off.
I have cleaned the underlining. So that's the way to underline and also remove it if you like. Alright. Another thing we would want to learn is line spacing. Now, let's say you don't like the line space of the whole document, or there are particular lines you don't like the line spacing. You can select the lines or select the whole document and press Ctrl plus 2 to get double line spacing, then Ctrl plus 5 to get the 1.5 line spacing. That's now up to 2 lines. So if I select the whole document
1577,
like I have selected right now, and I press Ctrl 2,
Control 2,
doing that, it's going to ensure that there are 2 line spacing, okay, at the end of each line. If I press Ctrl 5, it will give me 1.5 instead of 2 line spacing. Another one that has to do with text formatting, and I think that's probably going to be the last text formatting I'll be talking about here. I would include more shortcuts as far as text formatting is concerned in the appendix of this training material. You're going to get that at the end of it all. So we're going to be talking about centralizing here. That's to centralize a particular line. So I'll go to the beginning of this lecture.
6th March. Blank, the chairman.
Okay, the chairman.
State Universal Basic Education Board. Miss Blank, special appeal for kind consideration for study leave with pay.
Okay, this is the title of the letter, and normally this is supposed to be centralized. So I'm going to select it, but before I do that, I'll go to the beginning of the line.
Oh.
Good, so I'll press Shift plus down arrow.
Selected. Special appeal for kind consideration for study leave with pay.
I'm going to centralize this. To centralize something, it simply means that you want to put that in at the middle. That would create a special attention to it. So I can do Control E to centralize. Centered. So that's it. That particular title has been centralized. Alright. Yeah, I said this is going to be the last thing, but I just remembered that I need to add one more to it, which is auto bold and unbold. Now this particular line,
Black special appeal for kind consideration.
Okay, I'm going to select it again.
Oh.
Don't forget I've centralized it, so I'll select it and bold it.
Selected. Special appeal for kind consideration.
I can bold it by pressing Ctrl plus B. You will hear bold on.
Bold on.
Bold on. So that has been done. If I want to unbold it, I'll press the same key combination, Ctrl plus B, and you're going to hear
bold off.
Bold off. You just heard just outspoken that one to you. In addition to text formatting, I want to take you through some advanced method when it comes to text formatting. I feel you will need this. It's not really something I will go deep into, but I will just touch the surface because this is something you will need when you're writing letters. Letter writing, you will need what I'm about to talk about. So I feel it is very vital I let you in to it. This is not something you will commonly come across when you are being taught how to operate the computer from the basics level. But for me, I always love my student to stand out, and that's what I like a lot, hence I am doing this. First, let me ask you a question, and this will lead to something I feel you might not have known before. So listen well and grab this opportunity, learn something new. Do you know that it is possible for you to select from any position you are on the Microsoft Word page downwards or upward? Do you know? Now let me demonstrate what I just said. I'm here in a document. Let's start from here.
Yours faithfully, Cadre at grade left, sir, as a vision, sir, of my above request for a study.
So I'm here and I want to select from this place to the end of the document. What am I going to do? I'm going to first make sure that I'm on the beginning of that line, and that can be done by pressing home. You know that?
Oh, S.
Right.
Sierra.
What I think you might not know is how to now select from here to the end of the document, instead of you just selecting line by line or selecting paragraph by paragraph till you get to the end. All you need to do to select from this point to the end of the document is to press your Control key, your Shift key, and the End key. Control, Shift, End. So let me do that real quick and let's see what would happen.
Selected, sir, of my above request for a study leave with pay period, having already reached the bar for my cadre at grade level 07, with the need for special books and facilities, my meager savings shall hardly be enough for me to acquire the necessary academic qualification required for the enhanced improvement at my misspelled job.
Okay, I just pressed the Control key to stop it in order to save time. If you listen, just announced selected, and of course it started reading the whole document from that point. If I had left it, it will read to the end, but I just don't want to do that in order to save our time. So that's the way to select from any point at which you are downward. You can also do the same thing. You can select from any point you are upward. Let's practice that.
Senior Braille instructor.
So I'm on the Senior Braille instructor. I'm gonna make sure that I'm at the very end. I'll press the end key. Now I'll press the Control Shift then Home key, and that's gonna select from this point I am upward. Let's try that. Control Shift Home.
1577 characters selected from Note 7.
You can see it has selected from the beginning, right, to the end. That is, it will select from the beginning of where I stopped to the top of the document. Alright, so having said that, let me now take you to the advanced text formatting that I talked about. I'm going to close this document and open a blank document.
Alt F4, space, items view.
So let's open a blank document.
Search.ors, Word 2016, Wars, enter.
I'm not going to be talking about how to open that in this lesson. You already know that. So I'm expecting my blank document to come. It's taking a long time. It's taking a long time than expected. Let me check.
JAWS Word, new
Okay.
list box, blank
It's
document.
already here. I don't know why I just kept quiet there. Press escape.
No open document.
So why is saying open document? I don't know why. Let's special
Document, JAWS, document, one word, print view, edit.
Okay, so my
Blank.
document is open. Now let's say I want to type an address. Let's take formal letter or informal letter. Okay, let's use formal letter. Formal letter has 2 addresses. Yeah, I think that will suffice. So let's take formal letter. The formal letter has the address C. That's the person writing the letter, and it also would have the address of the person you are writing to. Now, your own address will be at the right side. Then the person you are writing it to, his or her own address will be at the left. How do you do this? If you really do not want to use that right align, left align, you know, when you are using the right align, the left align of everything, you have to be selecting all the lines. You want to be at the right, put it there. Selecting all the lines you want to be at the left, put it there. But this advanced method I'm about to introduce to you would help you to do those things with ease. But it's really advanced because you need to pay closer attention into it. Now, to move your margin, the tab key is what is responsible for that. Yeah, just like when you are on your typewriter and you are pressing your space bar, the carriage will be moving. That way you are moving your margin. You can do the same thing on your computer, and the tab key is the agent, let me use that word, responsible for that movement.
Escape.
So let's press the tab key, and as I press, I want you to listen to something strange.
3.81 centimeters.
So you are hearing centimeters and numbers.
5.08 centimeters.
Let's go again.
6.35 centimeters.
Let's go again.
7.62 centimeters.
Again.
8.89 centimeters.
Again.
10.16 centimeters.
Again.
11.43 centimeters.
11.43 again.
12.70 centimeters.
12.70.
13.97 centimeters.
13.97.
15.24 centimeters.
15.24.
16.51 centimeters.
16.51.
17.78 centimeters.
Let's keep going.
19.05 centimeters. 3.81 centimeters.
So you can see that it has actually gone back to 3.05 after 17 point something, right? So that's to tell you the margin that you have. Now you now need to use your head to calculate what you are going to type, to see that, okay, if I divide this into 2 or divide it into 3, will it be enough to be at the right margin when I type? Will it fit my contents into the right side? Because as you are pressing that tab, you are moving your carriage, you're moving your margin to the right. All right, now to have a proper format, I'm going to close this document and start all over again. Or better still, I'll just select all.
Selected tab.
And delete everything. So I
Blank.
think I've deleted everything right now. Yeah, I've deleted everything. So let's say I want to type a formal letter and my address comes first. For me, I always use anything 7 point something. Yeah, and I think that is proper. So I'll press my tab key.
3.85.06.37.62 centimeters.
7.62. That's what I always use. So I'm going to type the first line of my address here. Let me type
N-O, no period, autocorrect, no, N-O, space,
30
3, 0, 30,
space Igbobo. Let me type here.
I, G-B-O, G-B-O, Chicago,
Streets.
S, T-R-E-E-T.
I'll put comma here.
Street, comma.
So I'm going to press my enter to move to the next line.
Enter.
And press my tab key to get to that centimeter, that same centimeter I used on the first line.
3.85.06.37.62 centimeters.
Good. So I'm going to type the second line of my address. I meant to say. Where did I stop? I stopped at Igbobo Street. Alright, so I'm going to type Ikorodu, Lagos on this line.
I-K-O-R-O-D-U, Ikorodu.
Then Lagos.
L.
I'm typing slowly so that you can hear me.
G-O-S.
So I'll put comma here.
Lagos, comma.
I'll press enter because I want to write the date.
Enter.
So I'll press my tab key. Don't forget, enter has just taken me to the next line. I need to press my tab key to move my margin so that everything would be equal.
3.85.6.7.62 centimeters.
7.62. So I'm going to write the dates. Let me just write 15.
5.
15th
15th, space.
October.
C-T-O.
October.
B-R.
October.
October, autocorrect.
October then 2021.
021.
So that has been done. I'll put full stop here.
2021, period.
So I'll move to the next line.
Enter.
And I will not do anything with my tab. A good student will ask me why. You know, the next address I want to type now is the owner of the letter. That is supposed to be on the left. The reason I've been pressing tab is to shift my margin to the right. Alright? So, but because the address I want to type now should ordinarily, under any normal circumstances, be at the left. So I'm not going to use the tab key again. So I'll just type the manager.
T-A-E-A.
The manager.
G-R-M. M.
Sorry.
Manager, comma.
The manager.
Enter.
I'll move to the next line. Radio Corporation.
R-A-D-I-O. Radio.
Radio
C-O.
Corporation.
O-O-P-R-A-T-O-N.
Radio Corporation.
Operation, comma.
I'll put comma, then go to the next
Enter.
line. Then type Radio Corporation Federal. Okay, let me type FRCN.
F-R-C.
FRCN.
N.
Then put comma
F-R-C-N, comma.
to the
Enter.
next line. Then type
I.
Ibadan.
B-A-D-A-N.
Ibadan. Full stop.
Island, period.
So that way I've been able to write the address. If you get to yours faithfully after typing the whole letter, centralizing the title as I have taught you, you now get to yours faithfully. All you need to do is to use that same margin. All right, just press your tab key when you get to 7.62 centimeter. Type yours faithfully, then press the enter key. That takes you to the next line, and you know now the next line is where you are going to put your signature. So you can leave that and press the enter key again. Once you press the enter key again, just press your tab to 7.62 centimeter again. Some computer will say inches. Okay, never mind. Anyone here, just take note of the number. The number is the most important, and type your name there. And voila, you would have formatted your letter writing in a very presentable way. But let me also add that after doing all of these things, do not always forget to save your document, because if you don't, everything you have done after closing your document will be gone. I'm sure you don't want to experience that. It's really painful. So my good student, learn how to save whatever you do on Microsoft Word before you close the document. It is very, very important. Until I see you on the next lesson, if you have any question, keep them coming and I will be more than ready to answer them. Thank you. God bless you. See you.